Hello, Wybers Wood Academy. My name is Tom Palmer, and I'm a children's author, and you have asked me some excellent questions. I'm pointing that way because that's where the screen is that I'm looking at your questions on. So you've asked some really good questions. You are class 4S, and thank you for asking them. Right, and I'm sorry it's taken me so long to get back to you, but I just moved house and life's been a bit chaotic, but I wanted to get your replies to you before the end of term. Question 1, which is your most favourite book that you've written? My favourite book that I've written is called Over the Line, and it's about real footballers who fought in the First World War. So it's about real people that I had to research and find out about, and they were footballers who played for Chelsea, Huddersfield, Grimsby, and they went to fight in the trenches, and it's my favourite book because when you're writing about real people you become quite emotionally involved with them necessarily, because you've sort of got to represent their lives proper because they're real people, and so I became very close to it, and that's why it's my favourite book, I think. So that's called Over the Line. Next question, who is your favourite character you've created? Well, I've got two favourite characters. One is Danny Hart, who is my first character that I created in a book, and he was a boy who solved crimes in the world of football, like kidnapped players, murdered managers, stuff like that, and he was my favourite because he was my first. The other favourite I've got is called Lily, and she's in Secret FC and the Squad series, and she's my favourite because she's based on my daughter, so she's not exactly, a lot like my daughter, and so I'm bound to like her as a character because she's sort of one of my very favourite two people in the world, I suppose, and so that's why I like her character so much. Next question, do you have a favourite children's book? My favourite children's series is the Anthony Horowitz Alex Rider series. I like them because they're full of adventure and they're fast paced. I like a book called Keeper by Mal Pete, which is about a goalie who's trained to be a goalie by a ghost. I also like a book called Pride and Penalties by a female author called Chris Higgins, which is about a girl who wants to play rugby but her dad ignores her, even though he's really into rugby. And it's a bit about what dads think their daughters should be and what dads should really think more about their daughters and what their daughters want to be, and not have very fixed ideas for them. It's really good. Quite sad really, but in the end obviously the dad comes around because it's a story, but in real life that doesn't always happen, does it? But it's funny, it taught me a lot as a dad, which I think was really important, and I think all the time when I read books I'm learning things and thinking about things from other people's points of view, and I think that's partly why I like reading, really. Anyway, there's one more question. How long does it take you to write and check one of your books? It takes me it depends on the length of a book, but let's say a normal mid-length book would take, say, 3 months. 1 month would be planning it, and researching it. 1 month would be writing the first draft, and the last month would be rewriting it, editing it and checking it. And you can spend at least as much time rewriting as you can writing. And I think the difference between something being good to read and something just being something that I've written is if I approach it like a reader. So I write it first of all, but then I read it and change it to make it better by looking at it as a reader as well as being a writer, if that makes sense. So you have to read your own work and try and work out if it works or not. And one way of doing that is reading it aloud. I like to read books aloud that I've written because it helps me spot the many mistakes that I've made. Anyway, they are all your questions. I wanted to say thank you very much for asking them. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to get back to you, but I shall now try very hard to upload this video on YouTube. But thank you very much, and have a brilliant summer, all of you. And by the way, if you're passing a public library during the summer holidays, there's something called the 6-book challenge, which I'm sure some of you know about, where you can read 6 books over the summer holidays and you get prizes and stuff like that. And this year the theme is record breakers, and it's really good. and my daughter does it. So if you fancy doing that, and you can read what you like from the library. You don't have to read things that other people have told you to read. You can just go in and read whatever you want. So I recommend that. Anyway, have a lovely summer. See you later.